Welcome, everybody, to One Stage at a Time, the podcast. We are playing through every single level of a video game, this time Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I am Aaron Neeson.
I'm Andy Prim.
And we are joined once again by Denise Chappelle.
Hello.
Thank you for being here, Denise.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Oh, we are so glad you're here. We just played through Treetop Town. And what a level.
What a level indeed.
Oh my gosh. Lots of barrels, lots of falls, lots of
redos.
Lots of bad timing. Yeah. Denise, what did you think of Treetop Town?
Well, it was visually stunning. I loved the background. I was kind of distracted, I think, looking at all of the different surroundings. And then I would, jump into a barrel that would shoot me out without any warning and die time after time after time again.
Time after time.
Time after time. The same Achilles heels, as I call them.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
That one spot that you just can't conquer. It's
Conquer's bad for a day.
Yeah, the entire game, that was it for me. No, it was those. Yeah, no, I found that area too in this level. It was a bit of a hassle, but we got through it. And
yeah, you guys did.
All right, fair. Andy, what did you think of Treetop Town?
I actually think this is quite a good level.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the aesthetic of it. Like Denise was saying, the Treetop Village aesthetic is really neat.
Yes.
It looks like you're in like, I was making comparisons to like Lothlorien from Lord of the Rings or the Lost Boys Treetop Village from Hook, the classic Steven Spielberg movie Hook.
Sure.
You mentioned the Ewok Village from Return of the Jedi.
I couldn't help but think that we had just blown up the Death Star shield generator.
There's some cool parallax scrolling in the background, like two separate layers of trees and more tree village scrolling in the background. Mm-hmm. So it just looks really nice and cozy. It's nighttime. There's like torches burning all throughout the village, which is probably a fire hazard in a treehouse.
Some good marimba going on in the instrumental.
Yeah. You quite liked that. The
really
soundtrack
gets you into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another excellent track. This is called Treetop Rock by Eveline Fischer again. So we've got a lot of Eveline Fischer in this world. Another quite good track. I have to wonder, though, with the aesthetic, who actually lives in this village? It feels lived in, like the torches are burning. Someone's there presently. But like, who is it? It's not the Kongs, apparently.
Well, who do we encounter there?
Well, the Kremlings.
Yeah, the natives. They didn't just get there and like conquer it. Everything's pristine. There's no battle or anything. It's their homes.
This is just like where they've been living for centuries.
Yeah.
And DK is just like, this is mine now.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. He's like, this is my island. How dare you exist?
These are my bananas.
You took my bananas?
Again.
I'm just saying, there's no evidence that they aren't coming out of their homes trying to defend their home from Donkey Kong.
It's basically like how in the Mexican-American War, American President James K. Polk provoked Mexico into attacking his troops by having them like march along the border and, like put one toe over and be like, are you going to do anything?
Exactly.
And then as soon as the Mexicans fired, they were like, oh, it's war. It's war now. You started a war, buddy. And then we seized all of the Western United States from Mexico in a war of conquest.
It's kind of like that, except which president was it?
James K. Polk.
It's more like if Polk ran into Mexico, guns blazing, and started murdering Mexicans. That would be more apt of a comparison.
And accused them of starting
them of starting. He's like, you stole my Mexico. Blam, blam. He just starts blasting.
Like Yosemite Sam.
Exactly. Just shooting himself up into the air.
Yeah, so that's this quaint treetop village that we're making a wreck of right now. As for the stage itself, I think it's quite good. This and the previous stage both make a lot of use of blast barrels. Mm-hmm. We didn't see too much of those in the previous world, but we're seeing a lot of them now.
They introduced you in the previous. Well, okay, sorry, I was thinking 2 worlds ago. I'm like, they introduced you in the first jungle area.
Back in DK Jungle. Congo Jungle.
Yeah, that's
Barrel
really
Canyon Canyon especially had a lot of this.
And this just ramps it up to 11 right away.
I feel like they were a little too barrel happy in this one.
You think so?
So many barrels, and you didn't know which one would shoot you out immediately and which one you could wait and like do your timing, and it just
they went a little crazy with it.
This one is like, it's kind of remarkable how this level is all about timing. Like, it's hardly about platforming. Like, there is some of that. There's a little bit of platforming where, you know, you have enemies coming at you and you got to jump and dodge them and stuff. But it's almost, the majority of it is like, you just have to time a button press right.
Yeah. Greg Mayles, game designer, has said that they consciously designed this game to be very action oriented with a steady flow to where if you got into the rhythm, you could basically go nonstop throughout the level if you timed everything perfectly. And this is a good example of that. I mean,
there's a rhythm.
If you were really cranking on all cylinders, you could just go straight through this stage with perfect timing. But without perfect timing, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah. Remember that episode of Chuck? You guys ever watched Chuck?
I watched a little bit of that.
There's an episode of Chuck where in order to save the world, somebody has to beat, what is it, missile defense or whatever it's called?
Oh, the one where you shoot lasers at the missiles?
Yeah, and it makes the explosions. And one of the way to do it was to time it to a song by Rush. And doing that allowed you to beat the level.
Is that real or was it just for the show?
No, it's just for the show.
I was thinking maybe the marimbas had something to that.
Maybe they might have.
Therein lies the key.
There might be something to the music in this level that lets you unlock the key. Yeah. But it also makes me think of Rayman Legends. Those levels at the end of each level or at the end of each world. Have you ever played Rayman Legends? Great game. Superb platforming game. At the end of each world, there's a music level where you're platforming to the beat of music. So you time your jumps, it'll be to like where a drum hit will happen or something in the song. And like the first one you come is like, was it Black Betty?
Oh, that's a great song.
Yeah, you know. So,
Cambalam.
Exactly. So you're running, it's like, oh, Black Betty, bang, you jump and stuff, and it's really fun and it's cool, like a mix on the rhythm type game.
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Classic YouTube video.
Classic.
Well, so that's been some impressions on this stage. There are 2 bonus areas to find on this stage. One at the very beginning, you kind of lure a Neki back to the left and then bounce off of it into the blast barrel. And then the second one is kind of a semi-blind firing from one of the vertically up and down scrolling blast barrels. There's a single banana in a spot that looks like certain death over a bottomless pit. And if you bravely fire yourself at the single banana, that's how you get there.
Right. We were commenting on that because we were playing it and we kept getting that banana by missing the shot for the other barrel. So if you do it that way, you miss the barrel, you fall to your death, but you get that one banana.
Yeah.
You get the one banana as you fall to your death. And I'm just like, that's probably a secret, but they might also just be mocking us. Like, you died, but here's a banana.
With the red herrings, too.
Yeah, you can't trust this game.
This game will lie to you.
It will.
There's also a warp in this stage.
Yeah.
To access the warp, you have to be Diddy Kong. And at the very beginning, the same Neki that you could get to the bonus area with, instead you jump off of it as soon as it comes onto screen. And at the very top of the screen, you can see the bottom of a tire. So you got to bounce up and land on this bouncy tire and then do a good bounce off of the bouncy tire up into an invisible warp barrel up above the top of the screen. And that will take you straight to the end of this level.
There's so many of those.
There's a lot. It's been 2 in a row now that had one.
Yeah.
And there were 2 in the previous world. And we're going to see more in some subsequent worlds also. They're really kind of spaced out throughout the game.
Yeah. So this game is like a speedrunner's joy. Like, although you talked about that one secret that allows you to like just press buttons on the map to warp over a bunch of it.
Yeah. And we'll talk more about that in a couple episodes because the destination from the map warp is a stage in this world.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, the map warp is an interesting one. Denise, for your knowledge, when you're on the map, occasionally there'll be a point where the little dotted lines between stages will change directions. And at the node where it changes directions, the game still counts it as like a node for a stage. And if on the exact right frame you press the button as you touch that node, the game will try to put you into a stage.
Randomly?
Well, there's a specific stage that it sends you to,
Oh.
and that stage happens to be orangutan gang from this world.
Well, that sounds like fun. I like orangutans.
Well, you'll get to see how much fun that stage is soon
Let's
enough.
see if you have a good time.
But that's the map warp, a really interesting trick. The developers
Real
didn't.
quick, orangutans are great animals. They are so cool.
They're so expressive.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
And smart.
You go to the zoo and you see them carrying around their little blankies and stuff, and it's adorable.
Aw.
It's so cute. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Thank you for that interjecans.
Apologies.
How cute orangutans are.
They are so cute.
This is turning into like just basically planet Earth. Orangutans are some of the cutest animals on planet Earth.
They carry around blankies.
Is there a cute scale? Like, is there has any scientist ever developed a cuteness like the
Like a tier
Scoville
list for
like the
cuteness?
Scoville scale? Like, is this animal has 80 billion adorables?
I think lemurs would be towards the top of that.
You think so?
Ring-tailed lemurs.
Red pandas.
Oh my gosh, red pandas.
They're a ringer.
Oh
Dude,
wow.
they're so overrated.
What? What? How? What? You just blew my mind that you said that.
What about the great white sharks?
I mean, I like them. I like
cute.
great white shark. Are they?
I think they're cute.
You like how their eyes roll up in the back of their head when they're chomping down on another animal?
I don't watch animal death scenes.
So,
Fast forward
This
through
animal
those
that's
parts.
known for swimming and eating. I don't watch what it does most
so
of the time.
you probably fast forward through a lot of planet Earth in that case.
I do, although they drag it. Sometimes they'll tease you. They'll be like, "Oh, this animal's going to certain death," and then they don't.
How did you feel about murdering all these Kremlings in this video game?
Well, I was led to believe that they were the villains until today. So I thought that we were just fighting for our bananas.
Really? It's just
But
nature.
now I'm just, well, I guess there's that argument.
Perhaps the Kremlin will escape death today. Oh, no.
They
no,
did a
he
few
didn't.
times with
The
me.
gorilla
so.
jumped on his head. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us with the cuteness talk. It's just hard to say and hard to ignore when it's right there.
I forgot what I was saying before that.
I know, and I apologize for that.
How are we doing on time?
I think that we got a little bit of time still.
How would you all like to visit a new segment for this show that I have concocted and will now share with you?
I would love it. Please.
This segment is called Supplementary Materials. So this game, as with many games of this time period, was covered in the official Nintendo magazine, Nintendo Power. For those,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. in peace. For those of you who don't remember, Nintendo Power was basically a propaganda arm of Nintendo of America. This was a magazine that was published in-house by NOA, featured reviews done by Nintendo employees of Nintendo games, which invariably got like 10 out of 10. And also, it had features, interviews, in-depth strategies, things like that. Third-party companies would basically compete to get a spot in Nintendo Power because they knew what a powerful propaganda tool it was. So Nintendo wielded an enormous amount of power over third-party developers just by the fact of controlling the publication of this magazine.
Sure. But correct me if I'm wrong. Did PlayStation have a magazine too later on?
They did, yeah.
And-
there was an official PlayStation magazine, I think.
okay. And did Xbox also?
Maybe for a brief time.
Okay.
But by the time Xbox came out, print media was sort of winding down.
Yeah, around 2000 just started going. Yeah, everybody was in their chat rooms, and
Exactly. Yeah. Just
that's where I got all my news from AOL chat
deep
rooms.
in AOL chat rooms. No, but there was there was Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Sure.
And Denise, did you have more you wanted to say about chat rooms?
Oh, no, just that I miss them.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I'd love to go into ASL.
Oh my God. Next on this podcast, Aaron goes to jail.
When I was in there, they would have gone to jail. I was 13 years old in those chat rooms.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Nintendo Power. Back in 1994, in issue number 66 of Nintendo Power, they covered this very game. I have issue number 66 of Nintendo Power.
Here on the premises?
No, it's in a box. I didn't feel like retrieving it and digging it out just to show you.
Maybe for the finale.
Maybe for the finale, but I do have it, or
Just
at least
read
I
the
had
article
it at one
verbatim.
time. I mean, these are things that have been sitting in boxes for years, so it's possible it may have gotten misplaced at some point.
Sure.
But at one time I did have this.
Okay.
And
we're going to tear this apartment apart until we find
Nintendo Power also released official player's guides for many first-party Nintendo games.
Sure.
And this one was no different. There was an official Nintendo player's guide released in 1994 for this game, which I did not have. I actually had the Prima unofficial player's guide for this game, which was not of the same quality. It was like black and white, and it didn't have maps, but... no, but the official one is very good. I'm showing Aaron now some screenshots from it. That's the cover.
Okay, yeah.
But a very nice guide, very high quality. They cover all the stages. They have in-depth stuff about all the enemies and all the different moves you can do. Great artwork.
Wow.
I mean, the production values are wonderful on this thing. Lots of flavor text. As far as I can tell, the player's guide, Rare had no involvement whatsoever with the player's guide. It was just an NOA in-house thing. So it would have been like, just people that worked at NOA making this stuff and writing it and getting all the assets together for it.
Yeah.
Rare might have had some involvement in terms of like providing assets and artwork, but I think Nintendo like wrote and edited the whole thing themselves.
Okay.
Or at least Nintendo of America did. Someone named Gail Tilden was the head of marketing and publications at Nintendo, so she would have been deeply involved in it. But another guy wrote it. Let me see if I can figure out the name of the guy that actually wrote most of the copy for this thing. He's just credited as editor on the credits page, but his name is Jeff Baffus.
Okay.
Or Bafus. I don't know. Baffus? How would you pronounce that?
Let's see. Where are you? Jeff? Yeah, Jeff Baffus?
Baffus?
Bafus.
What do you
Jeff
think, Denise? Jeff Baffus?
Jeff Baffus.
Jeff Baffus.
Bafus. Well, thank you, Jeff Baffus, for putting this wonderful guide together.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff.
Also credited as publisher one Minoru Arakawa.
I know that name.
He was president of Nintendo of America for a very long time.
Yeah, yeah.
And an all-around right guy.
Now, so is there any Rare wouldn't care, right?
What do you mean?
Rare wouldn't care that they put it out without any input from them.
I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, maybe they would have been grateful not to have to deal with it, but maybe they would have liked to, write some of the copy. They certainly like doing that. Like the official instruction manual was written mostly by Greg Mails and Tim Stamper, and they really had a ball with it. Like Cranky Kong appears throughout the manual telling you not to play the game because it's bad.
So cranky.
a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor. And this guide, while it's it's well written, it's not the same kind of tongue-in-cheek humor.
Sure, a little bit different feel, but
It's probably be helpful to review that before playing, though.
The manual or the player's guide?
Both.
Certainly
All the
both.
resources I can get.
I commit it to memory and go play.
But folks, this was the golden age of print media. We had Nintendo Power magazine. We had player's guides. I mean, these were glossy, full color pages. What a time to be alive.
I know. You get to pay $30 to learn how to play the game you paid $60 to own.
Hey, no, not $30. I mean, this is a time period when these things were retailing for like $7.99.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, money was worth more back then.
That's fair.
In 1994, $7.99 was the equivalent of $95,000 today.
Yeah, it's true. I could have bought like a Honda, like a house for one, traded that Nintendo Power magazine.
Yeah, you still could.
Yeah.
And I'm more of the flying by the seat of my pants, learning as I go when I play a game. You know what? I don't want to read a whole bunch of literature first. I'd just go in there. Like you said, throw it into the deep end.
Hey, yeah, and hold down that run button.
Yeah.
Don't slow down.
Can't go wrong with that.
Well, I personally have always been a big fan of player's guides and supplementary materials. I think they're nice, just as like coffee table books, something to look through, even if you're not necessarily using it for its intended purpose.
Or to prop up your camera.
Or to a nice bathroom read.
Also, yes. But they just don't make them too much anymore. Companies have sort of started not making strategy guides. A lot of big releases now just don't have an official guide.
I can't imagine that'd be a worthwhile investment. I mean, people
Probably
just
not.
put all the answers online as soon, like they play it, and the way people are, they discover every secret within a day of the game coming out and beat it with learn how to beat it in 12 seconds and just put it all online and boom.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah,
but they're fun.
GameFAQs has ruined everything.
Yeah.
And, IGN Wiki guides.
Achievement Hunter, you sons of...
Achievement Hunter.
I'm
We'll
sure
get
Reddit's
you.
got some information too.
Yeah. Reddit's good, but problematic. For every tip you put up on Reddit, somebody's going to call you a
Reddit's an example of why the internet was a mistake.
Speaking of internet, thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Was there anything further that we wanted to talk about? Treetop Town?
No, I think we've hit the end here. That's been your first edition of Supplementary Materials. Feature we'll come back to in the future, I'm sure. And that's also going to do it for Treetop Town. Quite a good level, a difficult level, but I think we enjoyed this one for both gameplay and aesthetic reasons.
And we persevered. We got through it. We're a team, Denise. Even if you didn't personally do it, we all did it together.
So that's going to do it for today, folks. We hope that you will follow us on social media, find us on the internet, leave us your comments and reviews, and we may even read them on the show.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Go to onestageatatime.com for all of our things. You can find Denise online in certain places and local plays and performing in her band. So be sure to check that out. Denise, as you know, we do a sign off here. Did you catch it last time you were on? Here we say,
no.
Because we keep going no matter what. We say save and continue to sign off. If you would
continue. That's right.
If you would please.
Save and continue.
Thank you very much.